Hello, and welcome for it's another impromptu live stream, and this time it's it's always important, right? We're always talking about important stuff, but I've got a really important call to action. I don't know if you recall, but in the recent past, I did an episode and wrote about the subject of the odor-proof container and the idea that we can remove the language that requires us to have cannabis in an odor-proof container, which would, in effect, prevent police from being able to search us solely due to the odor of cannabis. And just before I get too far into this, this is an opportunity for you to help change the policy for the better. Change our cannabis policy for the better. This would be meaningful reform. So right at the top of this episode, if I've got your attention now, go to thecolememo.com/odorproof. I'll display that on my screen here in just a moment. Thecolememo.com/odorproof. You can see it there. And follow the instructions to file a witness slip. Tomorrow, there's going to be a hearing, and it's going to be at 4 p.m. So if you're able to do that before 4 p.m., that'd be great. I'm about to show you how to do that in this episode of
The Cole Memo.
The Cole Memo.
The Cole Memorandum.
The Cole Memo.
The Cole Memorandum.
The Cole Memo.
The Cole Memo is what allows this whole thing to go on.
I mean, you have to respect the memo.
Hey, this is Tommy Chong, and you're listening and watching The Cole Memo.
All right, once again, thecolememo.com/odorproof to file this witness slip and remove the police's ability to search based solely on the smell of cannabis. If you'll remember, like I was saying at the beginning of the episode, we recently got this through the criminal Senate, the Senate Law Committee. I might be saying that wrong. Why don't I just refer to my episode, or my article rather? The Criminal Law Committee in the Illinois Senate voted to advance the bill. Now, they did that, I would say, among other things, because they had huge support. You could see huge support from the community. So I'm showing my screen right now. You can see 338 witness slips were filed in support of the bill. 98 were filed in opposition. And this was around the time, this was 6 p.m. on February 18th. At the time of the hearing, it was still quite a blowout. 338 at the time of the hearing. There were 338 slips filed in support, 98 in opposition. And again, this, I think, played a huge role in getting this through the Senate Criminal Law Committee. And so now this bill has to go through the House Committee before it can be called for a vote. And as it stands currently, the police are outnumbering us. So I'm showing the numbers right now. You can see there are 38 proponents. These are us, the good people, right? We are supporting the bill, but there are 218 opponents. So we are being blown out of the water. And as you can see, I'll display these names here in a moment. This is like basically all law enforcement, or probably family of law enforcement when you see these self filings, but you can see most of them: Illinois Chiefs of Police, Lemont Police Department, West Chicago Police Department, Leland Police Department, Stickney Police Department, Sea and Railway Police, Park Ridge Police, Moline Police, Mokina Police, Lansing Police, another Stickney Police, Village of Crete Police, Madison Police. I mean, look, police stand to benefit from this language sticking around. They want to be able to search your vehicles. They want to charge you with other crimes. They want to hold you up based solely on the smell of cannabis. And if you go to colememo.com/odorproof, which I'm displaying on my screen right now, I'll spell it out just in case you're listening. colememo.com/odorproof. And when you go there, it's super simple. There's just instructions, and I'm actually going to go through it. And like I say, this was a huge help last time. We already got it through the Senate. Now it's time to get it through the House. So let's show you how to do it. Super simple. I am going to put my instructions to the side here, and we will do this together. I'm going to have to reshare my screen. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you haven't already, smash that like button. If you haven't already done what I'm about to do, feel free to go through this with me. We'll do this together. So let's look at this together. So right now you can see my screen, and I am just going to show you how you do this. So since I already filed, I'm not going to submit this, but I'll just show you. So first you do your name, pretty straightforward, right? Address, 420 Blazeit Street, city, Amsterdam, Illinois. Enter your zip code here. Pretty straightforward. Now, this is where people usually have questions. You're going to want to enter self in for firm, business, or agency. For title, you can put NA or self. Put your email address in. You don't have to put your phone number in. And then for representation, unless you're representing a business, agency, firm, or something else, you're just going to put self in here as well. It's very important that you click proponent. That means you support the bill. And then click record of appearance only unless you have something to say. If you have something to say, you can file a written statement. You can also show up in Springfield tomorrow at 4 to provide an oral statement. I'm going to do my best to show up tomorrow at 4. Unfortunately, I heard about this at the last time, or at the last minute, I feel, because it is tomorrow at 4, and so I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. But again, this hearing is tomorrow at 4. You can see that at the top of this screen. It's in the Judiciary Criminal Committee for the House. And so, yeah, once you've picked the type of testimony you want to give, if you're not able to make it and you don't have anything you want to say, just click record of appearance only and hit I agree and then create slip. The reason I'm not doing that right now, again, is because I have already filed as I've already filed as a proponent. You'll be able to see my name on this list. There it is right there, Cole Preston. You can see self, record of appearance only. Again, I'm not sure if I'm able to make it, but I will say we're doing a good job so far. The names are increasing, which is good. We're seeing more and more names pop up, but unfortunately, law enforcement is also, by the minute, having more names show up. So it seems like they were prepared for this. They've probably got a really good newsletter or mailing list put together. Ideas for me going forward is to make a newsletter of some sort so that I can more quickly mobilize you all on issues like this. I don't get paid to do anything like this. My show is funded by listeners like you. So if you're able to support, colememo.com/support. If you're not able to support us, support the show financially, if you just smash this like button and share it with your friends. But again, back to the subject at hand, colememo.com/odorproof for those instructions. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it on social media. I tried to make it super easy. So, just follow these steps, click the link. It'll take you there. And again, this will go a long way towards solving a very real issue here in the state of Illinois. I've gotten some messages already after having posted this, and some people say, well, why not just find an odor-proof container? Well, if you read that article that I wrote that I showed earlier, and I'll pull it back up on my screen. You can read it at colememo.com. At the time of this recording, it's the very top article, so you can't miss it. Actually, I'll go back. See, here's the homepage of colememo.com. It's the very top article. Click it. And one of the things that police mention is canines. And they specifically stated that canines have a detection capacity that is 10,000 to 100,000 times greater than that of an average human. So there are definitely containers that are better at mitigating odor, but again, there is no such thing as an odor-proof container. Odor-proof to a human is a different standard than odor-proof to a dog. If there was such a thing as an odor-proof container, police would not use canines at the border to interdict people trafficking cannabis. So yeah, there just is no such thing as an odor-proof container. Furthermore, if you go to a dispensary, and this is the real issue, if you go to a dispensary, you know that it smells like cannabis inside. And what's important to understand is that the cannabis all comes pre-packaged, which means that the cannabis is not sold in odor-proof containers, which means that the moment you purchase the cannabis and get into your car, you are out of compliance with the law. They can search your vehicle. If they find cannabis in your car, because that is what they are smelling, you can be charged with a Class A misdemeanor. A lot of people don't mention that. You know, we make it all about the searching of the car. You'll get charged too for improper transport because they can smell the cannabis. Just so you know, Class A misdemeanor, from what I understand, is what you get charged with if you, for example, committed domestic violence. Obviously, that's wrong. That needs to change, and this is the way to do it. Once again, colememo.com/odorproof. Let's see a huge show of strength like we did last time. Like I said, I'm about to end this stream because I didn't plan to go live tonight. I didn't know that this was going to be happening tomorrow. I really hope that I can make it so that I can testify, but also I would like to capture the hearing if I'm able to. I'll try to bring a camera and put a formal request in to actually record it instead of just taking notes last time, because there was a lot of things that I wrote about in the article that I showed earlier that I simply either couldn't remember or couldn't remember well enough to confidently put it down as, details in an article. So hoping that I can get my formal request in to actually capture the proceeding. But again, really need your support. Need another show of strength from the cannabis community. Like I said last time, at the time that the hearing occurred, there were 338 slips filed in support of the bill. That was you all that took the time to participate in the process. And at the time of that hearing, there was only 98 in opposition. This time's a very, very different situation. I'm going to display my screen one more time. Right now, the police are blowing us out of the water. Absolutely blowing us out of the water. I don't know if you can see this right now. I'll try to make my screen a bit bigger. 218 police have filed versus our 38. We really need to bring this number up. Let's see if it's changed at all. Look, it's gone to 40. But their number, I think, also just went up. I think their number, I don't even know what it just jumped to, but it definitely went up. So our numbers are increasing, their numbers are increasing, but we really need to keep showing strength and come together on this. And this isn't the end-all, be-all. Just because we get a bigger number or they get a bigger number, I do want to say that doesn't mean that the bill won't pass through this House committee. But it definitely says a lot to have people take their time to participate in the process because, not many people do. And so it really does say a lot if you do. It really does help a lot if you do. And that's what I'll leave you with. Again, I did not plan to go live. I've got food cooking in the other room. I'm really hoping that I can make it there, but I've got a commitment that I cannot back out of, unfortunately. And maybe I'll tell you more about that in another episode. But that's all still cooking, just like the food in the other room. So please take the time. colememo.com/odorproof. Let's see another show of strength. And if you hadn't heard about this issue at all, well, the end of this episode will feature a teaser of my mini documentary, which covers this exact issue. So take care, everybody. Happy Monday. And please share it with your friends. colememo.com/odorproof. See you on the next one.
Beginning January 1st, 2020, the recreational use of cannabis will be legal in the state of Illinois.
Available to stream now, my mini doc dives into the history of Illinois legalization, starting with
January 1st, what should we expect? The biggest thing that we need people to understand is that January 1, in terms of the criminal justice system here in this state, is the end of prohibition.
see how Illinois missed its chance at real cannabis reform with key failures, including the fact that
the program includes regulation on possession limits.
So people can still be arrested for a possession.
And I want to highlight that in its first year of legalized recreational marijuana in the state of Illinois, they arrested 3 times as many black people for possession than any other race.
We've run into so much cannabis, we've run out of places to put it.
I have represented people and taken their cases through the court system who got charged with more serious crimes only because the police said that they smelled cannabis. And not because the police said you have illegal cannabis, or not because you have too much cannabis, or not because you're high on cannabis, but because I can smell it and that's it.
Attorney goes, he understands that he can't be smoking and his cannabis flower shouldn't be open. And I was like, I'd like to say for the record that I was not smoking and my flower was not open.
So that's where we're at right now in Illinois, and I hope it changes.
Start watching now at colememo.com/minidoc.